some noise. This is power, this is truth, this is fire. We're the spark that'll light your empire. We're the grinders, the makers, the dream machine, chasing visions through the Web3 stream. Break the mold, let the fire ignite. We're building in public, no fear, no fright. Amid the rugs and the fakes we shine, gliding through space, coding in time. The fold is ours, yeah, we're claiming the game. Astrocast rising, remember the name. It's the future we write, it's a world we design. The fold is calling and the stars will align. The fold is ours, we're breaking the chains, riding the storms, we're embracing the game. From the depths of Aquatica to galaxies wide, the Astro Kids conquer, the fold's on the rise. Yo, solo explorers building the base, from an island of dreams to the vastest space, transforming the grind into indie gold. Bear the torch, we're breaking the old. This ain't just a game, it's a movement away from the sea to the stars. It's the future we pave, a limited run, but the fire's alive. Exclusive mid-watch, the legends arrive. Builders of the bear, we're taking it there. From nothing to something, to the cosmos we tear. Through the void, through the dark, we declare. Yo, step up, step in, feel the beat drop. Indie revolution, and we won't stop. From collectors to coders, we're setting the bar. Rising like rockets, we're aiming for stars. The fold is all is ours. We're breaking the chains, riding the storms, we're embracing the game. From the depths of Aquatica to galaxies wide, the Astro Kids conquer, the fold's on the rise. Yeah, we're carving the path, and it's burning bright. Indies, take note, this is your fight. The fold is calling, and we're answering loud. Heads high, fists raised, we're making you proud. Yeah, we're carving the path, and it's burning bright. Indies, take note, this is your fight. The fold is calling, and we're answering loud. Heads high, fist raised, we're making you proud.
Hello, everyone. Welcome again to yet another Astrocast. Great to see you out there. Thanks so much for joining. Um, yeah, we have a great one today for sure. Couple of legends coming in straight away. Yeah, so let's get into it. So, quick introduction if you're new, if you're just joining us. World is an indie studio building a universe where games, comics, and digital collectibles come together to create unforgettable experiences. Our flagship real time strategy game, Islands of Aquatica, blends rich storytelling with competitive gameplay, while our Astro Kids IP expands across comics and in game lore, inviting players to become part of a living narrative. So that's our NFT you can still get that is coming to us um, through here the project of our guests today. So we focus on community-driven value using Web3 tools, not just for speculating, but create genuine engagement and reward alignment. Quick introduction to our CEO. I won't be long today because he doesn't like it. So BK is the
Hey,
founder, is a journalist in game design and development, and uh, an amazing dev, and we're lucky to have him. And we'll jump straight into the special guests. So we have with us today Pix, the lead at Pathfinders, as well as Spitz, which is marketing. I didn't have here the note, but I think I remember. And it's great to have these legends back here, and there's so much to talk about. I'm gonna jump straight to hear our experts. And Grant, thanks so much for you guys joining, and let us know a bit about your project, um, and what's Pathfinder's about. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, well, first of all, thanks for having us. Well, we've got Pathfinders, which is our NFT project, and we're also the co-creators of Lilypad, which is what you great folks have been using to run your mint. Pathfinders, it's a Studio Ghibli inspired NFT collection. We've kind of adapted and changed over time, but like you, we've also got something of a game. We've got the beginnings of something called a storybook experience, and we're working really hard to try and get more chapters out of that to build it into something more substantive in smaller iterations. And so we're quite excited to keep working on that. But yeah, that's kind of the very, very narrow, very short, quick, incisive way to get into who we are. Spiz, he is our BD and marketing expert from the project. And he is particularly the guy who's responsible for finding you guys and for helping to bring together great projects with Lilypad to make sure that we can actually create and release unruggable NFTs, LST NFTs. And it's exactly as you said, it's all about producing really high quality experiences and making the space a lot better for everyone. So yeah, these are some of the things we're about. We can get into more detail about all of this, but I figure that's a good way to start.
Yes, thank you so much for that intro, Pix, and welcome back again, Swiss. It was a great conversation we had last time, and just wanted to speak about more of like how our journey has been in the last 1 month, and learn more about how this idea came up, because the launch what we have done right now, we are actually extremely happy because we found very good community members to be a part, who are it's not like in random NFT mints, right? Like people mint and then they expect a lot of people do a lot of promises, and they just come to the chats and they just try to do some random talks, and they buy chatters and all that stuff. But here we have, even though we have very few holders, they are like amazing, and they have been the best part of our community, and they are providing very valuable feedbacks and helping us drive this journey. So which is like very impressive, and we actually find this one as a success, because that is one of the reason, and that is the main reason why we wanted to do this LST backed NFT launch, to grow this organic community. So just to start with, like, I just wanted to know, like, okay, we inspired by you guys, right? You guys you did this already, and you have built the whole thing. What inspired you to start? How did you find the origins of Pathfinders, and how did this happen? What is the journey like, and what is the main motivation behind that? I just wanted to let the viewers know about it, and also understand more from you.
I think one good way to approach this biz is I'll talk about Pathfinders a little bit, and then you can talk about Lilypad and why we came to sort of the Lilypad. So to start with Pathfinders, it initially started in quite, as all good stories do, in quite humble origins. We were working with the Ocean team, which has now since become Sanctum. They wanted to make an NFT project. But the thing is that we realized that the NFTs that were on offer, in general, they didn't have sort of a background protection. There were no real ways to protect people who wanted to mint NFTs. And so we naturally eventually gravitated towards a solution in the form of LST NFTs to make sure that people who actually minted our project could always get their funds back if they wanted them, which for us, actually, it's psychologically very important, I think, to project creators to be able to know that they're not going to be at risk of rugging their holders, in the sense of, even though there are lots of ways of defining what a rug is. Some people say, oh, if the price goes down to zero, oh, you've rugged our money. And there's actually not a lot a project can do in that scenario if other actors have been responsible. And so we thought, well, if we're going to release something, especially tied to a brand as important as Socian or Sanctum, we wanted to make sure that there wasn't brand blowback on them, and that anything they released would be a positive step forward for them. However, the funniest thing happened. Over time, we were so immersed in the art and the creative side of creating Pathfinders that we actually ended up growing beyond the initial function that was initially proposed for us, which was to be there to help promote the growth of DeFi and increase essentially the stake of Socian's LST at the time. And so we realized that there was more we could do. And it kind of was the start of an experience which led to the creation of these things, creator coins. But we were the first creator coin, Pat Sol. We decided we could use LSTs as a sort of crowdfunding system, a way to raise money for an IP and an experience. And then we could use that to help us build specifically this storybook experience, which is a game. And it's a game which basically uses NFTs. It allows you to play through some of our story, immerse yourself in our world. But then at the end of it, you get traits and trait changes. So it's a specifically and uniquely Solana NFT and Web3 based game. You could not do it without the features of NFTs, the ability to change traits, and the people's enthusiasm for NFTs. And so, yeah, we began this journey, and that's kind of where we got started, and we never stopped really. So that's the origin of us.
Oh wow, that's been a journey. So how did LilyPad start, Swiss? Your journey through this.
Yeah, so initially when we kind of came up with the idea, Pix first thought of it with like LST NFTs as a kind of a safer way for people to get invested and to be participants of the project, right? And we realized that there was a need in the ecosystem for a safer alternative to what people would consider traditional NFTs. Obviously, the way things were working now, people were fatigued and the NFT ecosystem seemed to be drained of liquidity and also of faith. And so we saw that there was a need in the market to create this alternative. And so we reached out to FaZe Labs and actually ended up working with them to build out the LilyPad platform, which is like the LST NFT protocol that you guys are working with now for your own collection. But it kind of just came as first a desire in our own selves to provide a safer vehicle for holders to join into our community. And then it kind of grew into like this identified need for the space to have something as an alternative that, allowed people to invest in projects, join into communities, and feel safe holding the projects that they were invested in without the need to worry about floor price or, price action day over day. As it often happens with when people check their portfolios for the ups and downs of like meme coins, for example, right? Like you can kind of like mitigate that and completely rid yourself of having to worry about speculation if you can just participate in a community and not, have to care about the floor price. And so based on there being this like need that we identified, we ended up just kind of pushing it out just so that we could allow for, builders in the space to feel that there was something else that they could be using, that they could be doing to help attract people to join their community. And at the end of the day, it's like, we just wish that this would have been something that came earlier in the space because it would have, saved a ton of money for a ton of people. And also hopefully, or could have possibly even, helped ensure that NFTs are still on top of mind, but at the end of the day, you can't take back time. And so we just have to kind of push forward and hope that, as more projects come out, as more projects are interested in launching NFTs to help like enrich their communities, they look at LST NFTs as the viable solution, similar to what you guys have done with what you're building with World, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's actually been the primary motivation. Even we have been building in this space for quite some time, right? Like just for we are actually indie by heart, and also we put everything into this. Me personally, I started this as an indie developer, like solo developer in 2022, figuring out everything on my own, putting all my savings into this. Literally, I'm completely invested into this, and but when it comes to NFTs, if it's a traditional NFT, right? Like we cannot focus on the work. It's just like as you said, like people will be talking about floor price, people rugging it. Even we don't. That's not in our control, right? Like people, if majority of the people who purchase that decide to dump the NFTs into the market, then the floor price goes down automatically, and that eventually impacts the builders. So that's the amazing part.
There's definitely value. It's definitely value for a project not to have to worry about consistently like replying to people in comments being like, floor price is down, what are devs doing? Why can't devs make price go up? It's like realistically at the end of the day, it's like market conditions will do what market conditions do, and people will price things how they want to price things. But with LST NFTs, at least you can mitigate the downside risk.
Yep.
Honestly, actually, as someone who has been involved in the Solana NFT space since the beginning, I can tell you for sure that 90% of the battle, and every founder of an NFT project will tell you this, is the amount of energy they have to expend in their Discord or Telegram or whatever they're using every day trying to explain how they're going to make the floor price go up. Now, we can't guarantee that the floor price go up. It can still go up with LST NFTs. There's no reason it can't, but we can guarantee that it won't go down. And that certainly does a lot to calm tensions between holders and a project. And that's like you can't underestimate the advantage of that. And I will say one other little thing here, which is that if you look at Tensor, if you look at the top projects, when NFTs bleed, they bleed together. But because we have a hard bottom on the floor price of our project, we're naturally just going up through the ranks of sort of projects because we're not losing as much value from the floor price just falling catastrophically. And so I like to say we're kind of a salmon swimming upstream, and LST NFTs can do that. It is just unfortunate that we didn't get everything out early on in the cycle, because I do think we would have been a real force, not just for helping NFTs, but for good in the space. And we can still do that, but it's just a longer journey.
Definitely for sure. Yeah, the market conditions, even that's what happened during our launch also, right? Suddenly a lot of things happened and market was suddenly going crazy and things did not go as we planned. But still, whoever already minted, they don't have this worry. Like, okay, am I losing my money? No, they are like still good because they know that they are holding the floor price will be the same. So with that's being started, with that start, I would like to just give in small updates on what's been our journey from that and how we thought about executing going forward as well, right? So we cut down the supply as we discussed internally, and that is actually a community vote. People also recommended us to go to small and actually ship the game out as soon as possible. So this has been a very important feedback for us. We launched this showing our game, and we are expecting gamers to join and be a part of our community. But what we realized in this is the gamers or the people who are actually trading into NFT, they are not into hardcore gaming or this thing. They are potentially looking to have a quick flip or make some quick money. That's been our analysis, and we have done quite some research after that. So what we thought is, okay, let's keep this aspect aside and let's focus on the game and ship the game out and launch it to the Web2 audience, and so that let's ship the game out to public for the playtest. Let the people get a feel of what the game is going to be, because we have a solid product, we have an amazing storyline, we have a great gameplay. So, but people don't have that in their hands to test it out. It's all about we talking about the idea, sharing the idea, and sharing some visuals. But it's actually good to have a playable game, which most of the gaming studios on Web3 don't do it. They basically upsell the story and then launch a token or launch an NFT, and then whatever happens after that is history, right? So we wanted to change the strategy back and be game first, and all the supporters who have been in our journey. So when because our token is focused on the ecosystem, we don't design our game based on the token, right? So our game is basically asset based, which is basically compressed NFTs or NFTs. So all the assets inside the game is basically around that, and our token will empower the ecosystem where creators can contribute by creating multiple types of skins, and it's basically to empower the whole creator economy and also bootstrap our community. So we thought, okay, let's limit this to 111, and we do this in multiple batches going forward as we build up more community members and more people understand about our project. And that's the approach we are thinking. And if there are any thoughts, I would like to know more. If you have something to share about that, what's the journey in the last 1.5 months we had.
Yeah, I mean, I think if this is just for anyone to answer, I will say that first of all, I respect you guys. I think it's it's a testament to the fact that you really are committed to building this IP, this world, this game, by the fact that you, as you said, you put a lot of your own money into it. You really put yourself on the line in this, and I think that there are always victories you can take, even when you lose, even when you feel like you're losing. And actually, there are some tangible gains here for Veld. I mean, you've as you say, you've got real community members now, and NFT holders in general tend to be very supportive, very enthusiastic. You've also now got the ability, because it's not a larger collection, to really spoil those holders, to really allow them to get to know you and to get to understand the project in a way that you couldn't do in Web 2. You know, having that access, having that ability to help both encourage and build on the game and test it with you, that's a huge perk. And I also, I think, just to close on that, I think that it's a Genesis event, right, for Val Soul. It's a way to bring in some capital there. It might not be a huge amount, but relative to other creator coins in the ecosystem, it's actually quite a lot for a single event to have brought in, and it's guaranteed because of the veto of Lilypad to give you 3 months straight away of yield from that. So it's not a huge amount, but it's something, and I think that there is still a lot you could build on here. And you can always come back. The good thing about NFTs, if the market circumstances change, you can always come back in the future, mint more LST NFTs, and then build up and make it even bigger and better. So yeah.
Yeah, 100%. That's been our strategy also. Like, you know, I should actually thank you guys for being a huge support throughout this journey, because navigating this landscape during that market conditions was tough, and you have been an amazing support for us. And you, especially Spiz, he has been connecting with us on regular basis, and, like, you know, providing great feedback. And I really appreciate your support on this one. And on that note, for the community as well, like, you know, we have our EVA trading signals. Like, you know, usually that's usually, like, you know, been in our Discord for a long time, but no one has been using it. But since the new community members joined, they started giving us feedback on, like, you know, what type of signals they would like to see, and what are the improvements they would like to know. And Eriko, I should actually give a shout out to her. Like, she has been one of our best heroes, and Dilly, she has been she's our hero community member, and now we found Eriko as well, who has been very active, and like, you know, sharing some very important feedbacks. And she herself is a designer, so yeah, it's been quite a journey. And yes, so just to move on to the next step, it would be like I would like to touch base on like, if with this Genesis event, as, like, you know, we already hit more than $30,000 of like, you know, soul staked under World Soul, and we are growing. And one surprising thing that I would like to share is people are minting organically, discovering us on Lilypad. In the last 1 week, we have been logged into like, you know, ship this game out, and we have been figuring out other sources of like, you know, other sources to, like, you know, push this much faster. So we are logged in completely, so we were not focusing on that. But we see every day or every 2 days once, we are getting like, you know, new people joining organically. I don't know how that's happening, but that's the beauty. Like, you know, they are going through this, and the main reason is because it is backed by LST, and they are not losing that money. So yeah, thanks for that. And yeah, Swiss, if you have something to share, I would like to like, you know, take your inputs on that, like, throughout our journey, what happened in the last 1.5 months, and then I'll go with one final question.
I think I would just have to say that I commend you guys definitely for working hard and pushing through kind of these, like, bearish, like, conditions. No one could have anticipated, like, you know, how things would turn out with, you know, crypto, with the macro environment playing into where crypto stands now, and the state of NFTs in general too. So for you guys to be pushing forward, to be building this, like, core group of community members and contributors is, like, really amazing, right? At the end of the day, you are accomplishing what you set out to do, which is to build a group of people who care about your product, care about your brand, and who want to participate and help improve it. And that's amazing. That's what a lot of projects end up lacking, actually. And I think that's, like, one of the more kind of forgotten about aspects of NFTs. They're really good at helping build communities. And so you guys leveraging LST NFTs allow for them to be safer entering, and, you know, you're building that community. And that's great to see, because now when you have your product that's available for people to play around with, play the game, they can provide input, be your early testers, and then you build out and attract more people because the game is fun, successful, and then they come in and you can reward these early contributors even more. And that's kind of great. That's amazing, right? Like, that's what people want to see. Like, there's something that comes from them helping out and contributing. So kudos to you guys. Keep pushing forward. We're going to work hard to close out the mint, and we're just going to, sky's the limit from here. Realistically, you guys are getting through the hardest hurdle. So congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. And I think the bid will be full. There are like people like who are telling that they'll be getting it. I got like a couple of DMs even yesterday that like I'm gonna grab 1 or 2 NFTs in the next coming week. So I think we can also announce an official close date soon. Maybe we can have a call and discuss about this and have a deadline on that. And by then I think we should be able to close it. So that's what even we are marking this as a Genesis event for our Astro Kids collection. So we have elites who joined us last year, but this Genesis collection we will have this as a separate collection, so we can basically keep track of it. And when we go for TG, then definitely these are the people that will be rewarded the most, because they have been a great support for us, and we don't want to do anything less for them than giving them the priority they deserve. For sure. Yeah. So yeah, with that being said, this has been a crazy year, and I know that Lilypad has so many things coming up going forward, and also Pathfinder. So would you like to share more about what's your perspective, or what is your roadmap looking like, and what can people anticipate from your side going forward?
Yeah. So
I think let's start with Lilypad. Start with Lilypad.
Yeah, I was just gonna mention, I mean, at the end of the day, we have a lot of stuff that we want to implement into the platform, right? Like additional functionalities that make it easier for creators to find the right LST NFT for their collection and their community. And so we're just gonna kind of focus on that V2 development. FaZe Labs has been pretty busy working on Netrunner, another product of their own. So development has been a little slower than we'd like, but at the end of the day, good things take time. And so we're just going to keep pushing forward with what we had planned originally for our V2. Some additional features, hopefully to allow for people to swap out to a preferred currency, preferred LST on the front end after they get done dissolving their NFTs. An interesting model that we had mentioned before to you, the Phoenix model, something that we've been talking about for a while and looking forward to having come out, and just other things that we want to push forward, right? Like V2 is kind of ironing in the UI, UX for users to have it be more of a seamless experience, minting and dissolving LST NFTs, adding in some additional functionalities for creators so that they find the exact fit that works for them and their communities, and then just, building off of that. So there's no estimated time of arrival for these developments yet, but we're definitely nose on the grindstone trying to push through. So hopefully we'll have some stuff out sooner rather than later for you guys with V2.
Nice, great to see that evolve, and more projects coming in. Let's make this mainstream. Yeah, it's always the frontline warriors that takes the hits, right? So yeah, we will be double running on this as well. Happy to be in this journey going forward, and yeah, congratulations on that, and great plan ahead. Yes, sir. With Pathfinders.
Yes. Yeah. So actually, I'll just follow up a little tiny bit on that and say that I see Astro Kids as our kind of as a partner. It's part of the family, the Lilypad family now. It's a cousin collection, and we're going to try and help you not just within the mint and not just in this initial stage of getting these NFTs, but we want to interact with you. We want to have that relationship, not just Pathfinders and Astro Kids, but Pathfinders and Astro Kids with all the other projects that will ultimately come out. What I will say is, so there are some, hard facts and things that are changing on the ground when it comes to LSTs. It's an elephant in the room. There's no point avoiding it. There is the proposal 228, which is going to be changing the inflation in Solana. Now, in some ways, there are perks to this for LSTs, for creator coins, for Lilypad LST NFTs, because in theory, in the hard times, APY yield goes up. It goes up a lot above what it can currently go up. But the other counter to that is the APY will be variable now, which it can be, make it more of a harder sell in some circumstances to get people to mint LST NFTs. But in my opinion, we are trying to shift the roadmap that we had of the partners to really focus in on the ones that do stuff that involves the perks of LST NFTs. So there are three things that I've always talked about. One is you can do seasonal content. You can run something for a period and then let it stop and people can dissolve. The other is you can do things like murder mysteries with self-filling prize pots. And I still believe, even if APY is variable, there is still a way here for projects that want to run an experience which has a prize at the end of it, to have that prize self-funded just from the yield or some of the yield they get from the stake put in the LST. And that's a huge offering for a lot of projects. And so we are trying to run our own incubator with specific, what we think of as high priority projects, to get them out that both show off these advantages and also which have really good brands which just never released because they were either they were I don't want to say afraid of the market, but market circumstances changed, they waited too long, and then they've kind of got these amazing projects, but they haven't released them. So we are still trying to work with partners on that front, and we're going to be probably making some exciting announcements about that in the near term. So yeah, that's first of all my follow-up on Lilypad, and then I'll tell you about Pathfinders in a sec. But if you've got any questions about that, then yeah, I can answer them.
No, that's actually a very very big news. Like nothing as such, like specific questions on that, but I would definitely like to say, like, that's a very very big step towards the ecosystem. Like having that incubator set up, I think that is a brilliant idea, so that people can have this head start and get into what they want to build. So yeah, congratulations on that, and excited to see how this unfolds. Yes, for sure.
Yeah. So I'll shift then now to Pathfinders. I'll say that, look, we've got a really great community. I do think that if those of you who do not see Pathfinders on the timeline much on Twitter, it's because we have got so much activity in the Discord. And I don't think there's many other projects who are in the NFT space right now who actually are gaining active and real users. We're picking them up at a slow trickle, but the point is we've kind of pivoted our bathhouse, our Discord, to being a place for rest and recreation in Web3, which I think now more than ever is a very appealing pitch to people, because it's so exhausting, the space right now. You have one day the greatest bull impulse ever in the history of crypto, and the next you have the second worst day after FTX, and so people are burnt out. I think that you can't just keep going and pretending that people are not. We are an optimistic project. We try to give people a good sense of, how there are great things still going on in the space. And even when there's this, insane volatility, there are still fantastic projects like yours, which are working, and we want to let people know about them. But we also, we want to let people come in and, they can vent a bit. They can talk about their day. We don't want to treat people as NPCs. And so that community offering is a massive part of what we're doing right now. And when you hold an NFT or Pathfinder, it's not just that it's a riskless membership in the sense of you won't lose soul, but it's also access to a real community of people who aren't NPCs, who are trying to actually enjoy themselves still in a very turbulent space. So that's the community angle.
Yeah, so true.
But yeah, maybe you've got some thoughts about that.
In terms of community, you feel such a different vibe when, for instance, Vorld does this LST sale. You see the people that are around. They really are optimistic, and they don't feel like they lost anything. They are in for the ride, and they have such a positive view of things, and it develops. So the chat doesn't go for, hey, what's happening, what are you doing, what. It just goes for the normal every day hanging out, having a chat with your buddies, and there's no negativity, because people don't feel all that's outside, that things are dropping, things are going away from under them, but not in here, not in our space.
Not in
So
here.
in here is a safe haven for people to be not losing what they may be losing in other places. So yeah, it's really a great environment to be in. And yeah, we've been gaming together. We have these weekly games on IP that we created using Fortnite custom modes. We have a mode where we have our own world art and world creations that our team made specifically on that map, and we had great reception of people coming to game with us. And yeah, the community side really is a lot of fun. Is one of the best places to be right now. Is World for sure.
Yeah.
And that definitely flows from the yeah, as you say, the LST NFT angle. We always used to use at the beginning in our marketing as much the fact that, you know, you can rest easy, you can breathe easy. At least there is some dampeners on the turbulence in the space, when, you know, it's not just that the NFT is going up and down, but, you know, Solana's going up and down normally, but at least it's only Solana going up and down that you have to worry about with the NFTs at the moment if you've got an LST NFT. And that does mean that people are maybe a bit less chaotic in their responses in the Discord. For us, it's kind of perfect conceptually that we chose the bathhouse, a Japanese bathhouse, as our kind of theming for the Discord, because now that we've kind of shifted and understand more clearly that we're doing like rest and recreation for Web3 people, it all just very clearly lines up very well for us. And one thing I will say is, and maybe you guys can implement this too, you know, there's stuff that you can do within a Discord which really makes it fun. And one thing we've realized is, well, I always loved with MMO games, you know, seasonal content where you have seasonal, like they create like a holiday or a festival. Now we actually, because we have our own world, we've done our own world building, we have our own IP. We've kind of decided upon this really interesting course for our community, whereby we're going to go after seasonal events and create really fun content and give lots of prizes away. One of our core tenets is to be generous to our community, but it's fun because there's literally an infinite number of festivals and holidays, and many of them can be really silly. And every single one of those is an opportunity for a community to do something original or fun, and just it's a springboard for a bunch of ideas. And I have to give, you know, full kudos to our community team, to Hazy, Fritz, and Astra for actually working with me and working with us to create really fun content. And we've even got something really silly coming up. I mean, I say silly things. We picked National Cereal Day on the 7th of March. I don't even know which country it's National Cereal Day in. Doesn't matter. The point is, it allows us to do things like run events where our community, who have got a lot of creative talent, can either put together their own cereal boxes and theme cereal boxes in the style of Pathfinders, or, you know, we have RPG elements, because Discord has a lot of functionality you can build. Hazy has done that for us, and people can do all sorts of stuff, win mochi, which is our in Discord currency, and then claim real prizes. So there's a lot you can do even through the lens of just the Discord. Obviously it's not a catch-all, but it can be a great springboard for a project.
No, actually, even I was thinking on this lines, and that is one of the questions like I wanted to ask. But thanks for giving the insight. Like, you know, we have this EVA bot inside our Discord itself. So we have been thinking of, like, you know, adding more functionalities to that, so that, like, you know, people can interact with EVA and like, you know, get that thing going, and we can also they can also have some fun games that can be like, you know, that can be connected to their main world account. So even what we are thinking is we use Metrica and all these things for verifications and all this process, right? So what we have, we already have a page called Astro Profiles, and in that page they can basically connect their Discord. That means their wallet and their Discord are basically right now connected, and that creates a world account, and that will be universal account wherever, in our Discord, in our game, everywhere. So whatever the activity that is being done, that can be basically like, you know, added. Like, let's say if someone is actively participating in some events, we can actually, like, you know, reward them through if they're interacting with the EVO bot, that will be recorded into the same profile. And whenever we are giving a big chunk of rewards, like something like TGE, and that all can be accounted for. But what you are doing for Pathfinders has been amazing. I think I have been actively chatting to the community, like not now, but like few weeks ago. It's really amazing to see people that are really active and passionate about Pathfinders, and they're more like friends, right? They're not like, you know, there is a project and they're not buying in. They're like friends hanging out and talking about all these things and growing together. That's amazing. I think we should learn a lot about community building from you guys, which is what I wanted to focus on this Astrocast primarily as well. But good that we were able to share more updates about our platform and these things. And maybe once our game is out and as we progress, we can do one more Astrocast going forward, and like, you know, dig deep into the community aspects and how we can how we can make things better from our side as well, from your learnings, and share our thoughts too, for sure. Thank you so much for those insights. And yeah, is there any questions you guys have in the chat, or yeah, any last words you want to share, Pix, or any questions you have from which you want from our side, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy to jump in and just say, I mean, for us, what I will say is, you know, so I mentioned the community work that we're doing, but also, you know, proposal 228 is a big change, and so we are doing serious. You know, we're not gonna stand still. We are adapting and adjusting like any good business does, and so we're figuring out ways right now to really make sure that our brand not just survives but thrives and prospers into the future. I'll also say that the timeline right now is we've kind of really decided to hammer down and work on the storybook experience. The remaining chapters will come very quickly when they start to drop. We've been at this there was a huge gap between chapter 1 and chapter 2, and you know that's going to come out quite soon. But this is one area where I feel we haven't fully got to the we've fulfilled all of our obligations thus far with our project, but the big one that remains is making sure that the game is as polished and comes out as quickly as people should expect it to. And so the next 6 weeks we are crunching and making sure that we don't just do one chapter, but we're basically going to do the whole game. We're going to make sure we wrap up the whole thing and do it in a bang and make sure that people have a great time with our story and get immersed in the world. So that's our focus. But after that, it's an open field, and there's a lot of things that we're doing. We're doing the soul searching, as I said, and we're going to find out the best possible approach to push the brand forward. So yeah.
Yeah, congrats on that. And that's a lot of alpha here. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, very excited to see your journey, and I think we'll be doing this more often going forward, because we also consider it's not just considered, like in this journey, what I personally earned is some amazing friends and the real builders who are actually working towards making a better ecosystem. And I'm glad that I got an opportunity to work with you, and travel this journey with you. And of course, our team is very happy on the way we took this journey forward. Yeah, thank you so much for that. And yeah, Spiss, anything you want to share?
Yeah, just wanted to add, thanks for having us on. Always fun to chat with you, talking about LST NFTs as well as what you guys are building. And thanks for letting us have an opportunity to chat more about Pathfinders too. But definitely keen, share some insights. If you have any questions, obviously reach out. We're always happy to spread the information, right? What works for us, hopefully works for you guys too. But yeah, we'll be chatting around about that. But thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks for having us on. Great chat.
Yeah,
thank you
guys
so
much.
And I wanted to invite you, if you guys
you.
want to join our game night, play Fortnite with us on our exclusive map. It's on Fridays. Right now, we had a community vote. Should be around 1 GMT on Fridays for now. It would be great to see you guys join and play with us. It would be a lot of fun. And thanks so much for joining. Really appreciate it. A lot of great insight. And best of luck for your project, for sure.
Yeah, thank you. You too. Thank you so much for having us. And yeah, I'm sure Spizzy. I feel like Spizzy will be the guy to win at Fortnite. I just have a feeling he's good at it. But yeah, maybe we can get some of our Pathfinders to come along. I look forward to it. Thanks, guys.
Love it.
Let's go.
Thanks, everybody.
So much.
Bye.
Thank you. And sorry to cut it down. We just wanted to give one more update on the game as well. Just wanted to do it after that, but if you guys have time, then maybe you can also listen into it in the next 5 minutes. So what we have been doing with respect to game is we actually stripped off the storyline, which is the major time-consuming part for our game development journey, and that's been taking too much time for us. So instead, what we thought is we'll actually complete the RTS game. So now what we are building, and we most likely also are on that same time frame, in the next 4 to 6 weeks, to launch a playtest and give that build to the community to test it out. So basically, the player starts on an island with 4 basic missionaries inside the game, which is like, the extractor, which extract the resources, the analyzer, which analyzes them, processing unit, 3D printers, and also assembly units. It's a complex mechanic, but fortunately, we have been working for quite some time, and it's multiple iterations. So we have things ready, and you start with that, and you gather the resource, and with that resources, you fortify your defenses, and also like create your own new army, and then you engage in battles with enemies on different islands, and as you progress in the PvE battles, you unlock new blueprints, which will allow you to craft more items. And as once we achieve this extent, we'll make it live. First, for our Discord community, our holders, they'll get an access. Whoever has the world account, they can actually playtest it way before everyone else. And then based on that, we will be making it live for initial playtest groups. And after that, we'll be adding a PvE where you can basically go and attack other bases as well, and then form clans.
For the people who are tuning in, so that is an update from our side. You can expect a game that you can play very, very soon. We will be updating you in the next Astrocast on where we are, and maybe even share a sneak peek of gameplay video. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, and thank you so much everyone for being on this space. Alex, any last words, or we can just wrap it up?
Yeah, see you on the Discord. Come hang out, come have fun, and thanks everyone. See you next time.
Yeah, thank you so much. Bye-bye. Thank you for your time.
Bye. Let's play our song.
Yes, sir. Unless and until you have anything to discuss about.
Builders of the vault, make some noise. This is power, this is truth, this is fire. We're the spark that'll light your empire. We're the grinders, the makers, the dream machine. Chasing visions through the Web3 stream. Break the mold, let the fire ignite. We're building in public, no fear, no fright. Amid the rugs and the fakes we shine. Grinding through space, coding in time. The fold is ours, yeah, we're claiming the game. Astrocast is rising, remember the name. It's the future we write, it's a world we design. The fold is calling and the stars will align. The fold is ours, we're breaking the chains. Riding the storms, we're embracing the game. From the depths of the planet to galaxies wide, the astral kids conquer, the fold's on the rise. Yo, solo explorers building the base. From an island of dreams to the vastest space. Transforming the grind into indie gold. Bear the torch, we're breaking the old. This ain't just a game, it's a movement away. From the sea to the stars, it's the future we pave. A limited run, but the fire's alive. Exclusive mid-watch, the legends arrive. Builders of the bear, we're taking it there. From nothing to something, to the cosmos we tear. Through the void, through the dark, we declare. Yo, step up, step in, feel the beat drop. Indie revolution, and we won't stop. From collectors to coders, we're setting the bar. Rising like rockets, we're aiming for stars. The vault is ours. We're breaking the chains. Riding the storms, we're embracing the game. From the depths of the planet up to galaxies wide, the Astrocast conquer, the vault's on the rise. Yeah, we're carving the path, and it's burning bright. Indies, take note, this is your fight. The vault is calling, and we're answering loud. Heads high, fists raised, we're making you